Ladies and gents, and the rest. Dun, 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 dun. Today we're going to be looking at 5 more units with 15 more talents. Just a reminder, if you want to see all the units, there is a playlist for this series in the description below. Let's go! Stonehoof Tauren. Talent number 1, Provoke. After connecting a charge, taunt nearby enemies. Now, the way it works is, watch, when I charge, we have to taunt these things here, right? But for some reason, that red lines above the head, you will see them if you repeat the video. Yeah, these red lines means they're taunted, but they don't get taunted until they actually kill the poor Quillboar. Watch. Again, boom, boom, boom. They get taunted, but they're not turning into your Tauren, which means it's probably bugged. But even if it's not, even if it wasn't bugged, the problem with all the taunt talents is that they don't taunt instantly. That something happens and only then they taunt. It's like this game is very quick, especially in PvP. It's very fast. So I don't like that all the taunt talents in general because they're not really effective. They're pretty bad. But this one doesn't even work. Talent number 2, Pummel. After connecting a charge, stun the target for 3 seconds. Here is what it looks like. You stun, you charge, then you stun for 3 seconds. And yeah, that's pretty much how it works. And general information, the cooldown of charge is 4 seconds. Just so you know. Talent number 3, Momentum. After connecting a charge, immediately charge a second time if possible. Here is what it looks like. So you charge the first target, boom. If the second target would be right here in the melee range, you wouldn't charge the second target. But because you have space between the second target and your Tauren, which means you need some space to actually to be able to charge, it will immediately, boom, charge the second target. And that is the point. That's what it means by saying if possible, you charge the second time. So what do we take? I'll be completely honest, there's only one bad talent here, which is this one, Provoke. First of all, like I said, the taunt doesn't happen instantly. That's why, by definition, it's a bad talent, everything that has to do with taunts. But this particular talent on this particular unit, it's not even working correctly. So that is 100% number 3. And the other 2 are, for me, equally good, Pummel and Momentum. You pick whatever you like. You will never go wrong as long as you pick Provoke at the end. So let's say Pummel, Momentum, and Provoke. That's how you can go. Firehammer. Talent number 1. I'm not gonna read the name. Some rage. Level up upon reaching full fury. Here's what it looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 1 more level, okay? Which means you reach full fury after 4 auto attacks. Here is the problem. Let's watch it to the end. As you can see, you're not getting any more levels, even though you keep attacking, ta-da-da-da-da. Okay. Now, actually, let's keep going. Here is the problem. Here's how this talent works. Every time you reach full fury, which means, as we see, 4 auto attacks, you get a level. In order to gain 1 more level, you need to get out of the combat, which means everything around you has to die. And then when you get into new combat and you reach full fury, you get 1 more level. Which means you're not going to get a lot of levels by definition, because the encounters either don't last that long or your Firehammer is not going to survive that long. The maximum I could reach when I was actually trying to see how many levels I would be able to reach was 4 levels. Yeah, so the maximum I was able to reach was 4 levels. It's a good talent, but don't expect to be able to reach a lot of levels because it's kind of restricted, and it's Blizzard, right? Talent number 2, Blazing Speed. Fury builds up to 40% higher. It's nothing special. On the left side, it's a talent. On the right side, there is no talent. And you pretty much, you do a little bit more DPS because you attack a little bit faster. That's it. Talent number 3, Molten Metal. Deal 50% more damage to flying enemies. Obviously, there is no way to show you the difference between this talent, between having this talent and not having this talent. But there's one important thing that you all need to know. That talent applies to flying bosses. That's why I'm showing you Falstad in this video. Every flying boss is considered a flying enemy. I know it's obvious, but it's a boss, and some people might have this question. You know, what if it works or doesn't? It's confirmed by the devs. I specifically asked the devs before I put this on the video. So this talent, you will do extra damage to flying bosses, which is Falstad, and like we have like 2 or 3 more. Now this is very interesting. What do we take? Honestly, before I tried all 3 talents and asked the devs about this flying unit talent, I thought that I would take Blazing Speed or this Rage thing as number 1 and number 2. However, this Molten Metal talent, if you take this talent, you 100% know that you're going to have a lot of flying units. Whether it's PvE encounter, you already know the pool of units, right? You've done it, a few times, and you decided to use this Firehammer with this talent. Or if it's PvP, you know that some units like Gargoyle or some flying units are meta, and you will 100% gain bonus from this talent. I would honestly take this Molten Metal as a first talent because it gives you huge value, and if you take it, if you use it inside of the encounter, you'll 100% gain a lot of value. Blazing Speed it's good, but again, it's 40% more damage. You don't know how long you're gonna last, and you just take it for overall doing more damage, right? And this Rage thing, like I said, the mechanic is very the talent is restricted. And you're not gonna get a lot of levels. You won't be able to take a huge advantage of this talent, right? So my choice, you can take whatever you want, but I would go Molten Metal, then I would take Blazing Speed, and then I would take this level up on Full Fury. Skeletons. Number 1 is Exhume. If deployed near a tower or meeting stone, deploy +2 additional skeletons. Yep, instead of 3, you get 5. And even if it's an any meeting stone or a tower, you still get 5. So it's really good to attack the towers from behind. Works really well. Very useful talent. For 2 gold, you get 5 skeletons. Talent number 2, Cackle. I hope I said that right. Gain Toned. Here's how it works. We are deploying skeletons behind the boss. When they fully get up, this red lines above their heads meant that they taunted. I don't like taunt talents in general because they don't happen instantly. And yeah, but that's how it works. That's how they do it. Talent number 3, questing buddies. One skeleton gains armor, one gains resist, and one gains stealth. Works exactly this way. So we get 3 skeletons. One is resistant, one is armored, and one is invisible. That, as you can see, that's not going to give him a lot of power, but sometimes the enemy would have to spend, if it's PvP situation, they're a little more tankier, and the enemy would have to spend more resources to kill them, right? Instead of just doing what Huntress is doing, right? And this invisible skeleton, it does a little bit of damage. I'm just trying to come up with a use for it. It's just total. Okay, so what do we take? Number 1 is 100% Exhume. I mean, it's just, right? Everybody would take it. You get 2 skeletons for free. Number 2, obviously questing buddies, because it's a little better than number 3. In some very rare PvP situations, it would be useful, but it will never be as useful as Exhume, obviously. So Exhume number 1, 100%. Questing buddies is number 2, and Taunt is number 3. Harvest Golem. Talent number 1, Unstable Core. On death, stun nearby enemies for 3 seconds. Here's what it looks like. Almost dead. Boom. So when you die, you stun everything around for 3 seconds. And when you resurrect and you get killed again, you stun again. Now, obviously, as you can see, it stuns flying units as well. It doesn't stun targets. It doesn't stun towers. It doesn't interrupt towers. I tried it, but it stuns all the units around. This is, for those who don't know, this is a must-have unit, and with this must-have talent in Jaina Turtle deck. This is a very popular Jaina deck. If you don't know what it is, let me know. I'll tell you later. So, also, some general information, like what you need to know about Harvest Golems is that when you kill them for the first time and then resurrect, between when they die and between the moment they die and resurrect, they disappear from the screen. They kind of like gone. Why is this important to know? When you're contesting the chest and you go one-on-one, like your Harvest Golem goes one-on-one against something, I don't know, like Worgen, let's say. When the Worgen kills your Harvest Golem for the first time, your Harvest Golem disappears and then shows up. That's the mechanic, which means you're going to lose the gold chest if you're fighting for the gold chest. Keep that in mind. Next talent is Trojan Chickens. On death, spawn 4 angry chickens. I honestly have never taken this talent seriously, but it works extremely well. This is what it does. It spawns 4 chickens on death, and as you can see, this one Harvest Golem is capable of killing this boss. And by the way, the way it works, the way it's working right now in this video is a little different. Usually, when somebody kills your Harvest Golem for the first time and it spawns chickens, the enemy's unit switches to the chickens. In this particular case, for some reason, the boss keeps attacking the Harvest Golem and it's not touching the chickens. I cannot explain why it's so. This is a very unusual behavior for this unit. Talent number 3 is Bountiful Harvest. On death, apply heal over time effect to nearby allies. Here's what it looks like. Our Harvest Golem is about to die. Watch. So we hit it. One more time. Boom. And you see this, our Ogre Magi is getting healed, which means the radius of healing is very, very large. When you kill it again, yeah, it applies heal one more time. It's very useful PvE unit, PvE talent. I have never used it because first time I tried it was when I was making this video. It's actually really good. So what do we take? Number one, we take Unstable Core because, like I said, this is a must-have talent for a few builds. It's not really that, like, this unit is not used a lot in PvE encounters. This is mostly PvP unit, but that is what you need to take first if you use it for PvP. Number two, we take Trojan chickens. It has a lot of use in PvP as well, but it's not as useful as stun talent. Number three, we take Bountiful Harvest because it applies heal over time on death. But when we need heal in PvP, we usually need heal on demand. We need to heal something in like boom right away. So this unit will never be used for its heal. Usually it's used for the stun. So that's why we take Unstable Core number one, Chickens number two, Bountiful Harvest number three. Witch Doctor. Talent number one, Spirit Ward. On kill, grant a shield to nearby allies, absorbing the next hit against them. I'm sorry for the red screen, it's a bug in the game. Okay, so what it does is as soon as you kill something, it puts a bubble, like Murloc's bubble on you, absorbing one hit. What you need to know about this is that, first of all, I am using, right now you're looking at the Onyxia's encounter, and this is level 23 Witch Doctor. Fighting against level 30 whelps. That's how good this unit in general and this talent is. I heard that on level 24 it will be able to clear this whole thing without dying. Mine dies because it doesn't have a lot of damage, but if you can survive for so long while being level 23 against level 30s, it's already worth a lot, right? So this bubble, that shield that you get on kill, lasts only, I believe, 7 seconds. So you're not going to keep it until whatever, right? You will only keep it in this particular fight. Once you get out of combat, kind of consider, like, you're going to lose this shield. Just so you know. And it applies to everybody else around you, not only to you. Next talent is Amplify Curse. Enemy is killed by the curse, explosion also explode. Here's what it looks like. So the minus of this talent, in my opinion, is that in order to get the value from this talent, you need to kill something, and that something has to kill other things. So there are way better choices in talents for this unit, but if you can find a use case for it, sure. But problem is that if you, for example, kill one chicken, then you're going to get a lot of value from this talent, so it's going to trigger a huge explosion. But even if you don't have any talents, if you deal with pile of chickens, you're going to kill them the exact same way. So the ideal use case for this talent is that it should have, the army of your enemy has to have a lot of low HP things and a lot of high HP units. Then you're going to get a gigantic value from it. Otherwise, take something else. Next talent is Alchemist. Periodically drop a potion granting Bloodlust to the first ally who touches it. Now, here's what you need to know about Bloodlust talent. You drop this potion, whoever steps into this circle gets Bloodlusted for 10 seconds. Witch Doctor drops a Bloodlust potion every 15 seconds on the ground. I don't know how long it stays on the ground, because I have never been in a situation where it would disappear. It stays long enough to be picked up eventually. Definitely more than 1 minute. So, yeah, that's all you need to know, I believe. And again, I have never managed to be in a situation where I would be able to spawn more than 3 potions, to have more than 3 potions on the map at the same time. But it doesn't mean you can't have it. It just means that I have never been in this situation, right? So what do we take? Number 1, I would go with Spirit Ward. Again, these talents are kind of, all of them are kind of good, but if you want, to be like super pooper efficient, Spirit Ward is number 1 because it has a lot of use in PvE and PvP. Alchemist is number 2 because it's really useful in PvP, but for PvE there are better ways to get Bloodlust on demand. And Amplify Curse is number 3 because, like I said, in order to get real value from this talent, you need to be in a very specific situation. It will probably be, most of the time, it will be used in PvE situations. So yeah, Spirit Ward number 1, Alchemist number 2, Amplify Curse number 3. And that is all for today. I will see you next time with 5 more units. That's all.